Everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jumpstart Monday. This is Michael Virardi, and we're more than happy to be broadcasting live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on YouTube. This episode is for managers who manage people, but are also managed by people. From my discussions with leaders and managers, both on this island and across the globe, I concluded that one of their top three challenges is how to get their manager to like them more. In actual fact, it is so important that we decided with Sophia to create a course about it. But I'm going to turn it on its head and say that what Steve Jobs has said in the past, if you want to be liked by everyone, then go sell ice cream. So the goal here should not be to get your manager or the boss inside your company to like you, but to create a mutual bond of trust and respect with your manager so that he supports you during normal time and also during challenging times. Sophia, what do you think?
I fully agree. And in my career, I had managers whom I respected very well. And in turn, they respected me. And that created a healthy working relationship. And it helped me also to advance my career. So I fully agree with you. So, shall we start with the first principle, Michael?
Yes, please show it. Principle number one is get to know your manager. In marketing, they say that the number one principle is to get to know your customer. I disagree. I believe the number one principle is to get to know your manager. Think about it, Sophia, and everyone who's listening in. Even if all your customers look up to you and respect you and they like you and they love you, but your manager doesn't, most probably, Sophia, you're out of the company. So what I suggest you do is take some time to develop a healthy relationship with your manager. And the best way to do that is to try to understand their psychology. Try to understand when they are more stressed and when they are more relaxed. Literally find the times. Try to understand the times. What are their top three values? What do they value? What are they concerned for? What keeps them up at night? If you're working at a smaller company, you can do that face-to-face with your manager. If you're working at a bigger company, then what you can do is either research them or talk to colleagues who know them even better. Because at the end of the day, getting our managers, understanding our managers, and getting them to like us is all about getting to know them first as human beings. So, Sophia, take away principle number 2 and 3.
Okay, so principle number 2 is build your internal brand. And I'm going to tell you a story from my childhood about this one. When I was in high school, I got a C in gymnastics. And it was a big blow for me because I had A in all the other subjects, and suddenly I got a C in gymnastics. and I was wondering what happened. I asked my classmates, and I remember one of my friends who was also a bit overweight. She told me she got an A, and I was really upset. So I went to the teacher and I told her, "How come you gave me a C?" And she told me, "You know what? When I was giving the grades, I saw your name and I didn't remember your face."
Wow.
So that made me think that this person doesn't care. So it was a big lesson for me. And from that, I learned that in order to be able to create some connection and in order for the other person to like you, they first need to see you. And in my case, I was invisible because I was shy, I was introverted, and so on. I was invisible, and because I was invisible, the teacher gave me a C. So I would turn it on to you, dear viewers, and I will ask you, what are the 3 things your manager will say about you when you leave the room? Will they say that this person is punctual, is eager, or will they just forget your face or your name? So think about it.
Great story, Sophia. Amazing story. We should write a newsletter on this one. I like it very much. Principle number 3.
Principle number 3 is offer value before your job description. And when we were discussing this with Michael, I told him the following story. In one of my first jobs, I was at Paphos Airport. And when I got the job, I was the youngest of the management team and I didn't have any experience. So I knew from the get-go that I had to build my influence in order to be successful. And one of my first tasks was to make sure that we train all the staff in the new regulations. And in order to do that, I had to make one of the big bosses or one of the big managers to approve it. So I booked a meeting with him and I went to his office. I was still very shy. And I saw that he had a lot of people in his office waiting. And I sat there and I waited as well. And I observed. And I observed a man that was very stressed. I observed a man that was very influential and that he had many people knocking on his door. So when it came to talk to him, I go into his office and he asks me, "What can I do for you, Sophia?" And I said to him, "No, you don't understand. I am here to ask you, what can I do for you? Because we need to get this training going, and I know you're very busy, so how can I help you make this happen?" And suddenly he smiled and he told me, "I don't know how to use PowerPoint. Could you help me?"
Wow.
So what happened is that we got this big project going on. We had to train 1,000 staff, and we got it going on because I was willing to help him to overcome this little thing. So it was not about the PowerPoint. Of course, it was not in my job description, but it helped me build my influence. So that's principle number 3. And I'm going to pass it on to you, Michael, for principle number 4.
Excellent. And I love this offer value beyond your job description. Principle number 4, and you can show it now on the screen, is make your manager's job easier. They hire us for a reason, dear friends and fans. They hire us to bring value onto the table. They do not hire us in order to bring hurdles, challenges, questions, and make life difficult for our managers or our bosses. So at the end of the day, what we should try to think is, how can we bring value onto the table? And if I can give a very easy to understand example, instead of trying to send emails to our manager asking them if they can meet on Friday for a meeting, we can go directly to his PA and we can then go back to the manager and say, "Dear John, dear Mary, I have looked at your schedule. I talked to your PA and I have arranged our meeting for Friday at 11 a.m. Is that okay with you?" And we should do that early on in the week so that they have ample time if they want to change something or to prepare. If we do that, then we are becoming a valuable resource. And all of the principles we talked about, and I'm going to go over them just now. Principle number 1 is get to know your manager. We are in the age-to-age, human-to-human era. Get to know the other person because it's all about psychology. It's not only about liking you, it's about respecting you and trusting you. If you get to know them, you will know literally when to knock on their door and how. Number 2 is build your internal brand. As Sophia said, if you are invisible, no one knows you. What are the 3 characteristics that you would like people to talk about you when you are not in the room, that you would like people to think about you when they do business with you? As I said to one of my mentees, we build maps around each and every person that we meet. So if they're punctual, we know they're punctual. And if they delay for a few minutes, we grant them, we give them some credit, and we know they will show up. Principle number 3, offer value beyond your job description. We shouldn't go as far as our job description. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary people is only that little extra in front. Sophia went the extra way to try to understand what hurdle her manager needed to overcome, and she helped him to overcome it together. And once she did, he opened up and he said, "How can I help you?" And principle number 4, make your manager's job easier. Instead of going with problems, challenges, and questions, if you can, go with solutions or at least suggestions. I was talking to a great friend of mine, and this is the conclusion to all these 4, Michael Solomondos, who used to work at Google during Saturday Up in the Mountains in Platras. And he told me about a friend of his who is now making it big in one of the biggest organizations in the world. And he's leading a team of 60 people. And Michael asked him, what is the secret to leading such a team? And he said, the only one. You have to be able to influence the board. You have to be able to influence the managers above you. I have people who are working for me that are smarter than me. So the only thing I need to do, other than trust them, is to take their suggestions and mine onto the board and pass them and take them through to the next level, because I don't have time to check everything. Even with the newsletters that are going out, he told Michael, I look at the numbers. If that newsletter is falling behind, I will check why. I look at emails randomly. I cannot check everything. So I have smart people working for me, and I know that the only thing I need to do is, or one of the most important things I need to do is to influence the other people above us. So, my dear friends, if you put these 4 principles into practice, then you will be a valuable resource, not only for your employees, not only for your managers, but above all for your organization. And you will bulletproof and you will safeguard your position inside the organization during difficult times. It's not about getting people to like you, but it's about getting people to trust you and respect you, and they would like you as the end result of trust and respect.
Incredible. And I see we have many comments from our audience here. Shall we go to them?
Yes, Kalimera Georgioanu, always first, my friend. Good morning. Hope this episode has helped. Morning. Have a nice week, guys. Morning, Bambos. Good morning from Leah from Greece. Leah, I'm coming soon to Athens, hopefully. Michelle, very interesting topic. Thank you, Bambos Mu. Christiana, how you doing? Kalimera from Athens. Athens supports us here. Trust and support, Milovan. Correct. Desislava, good morning, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. And then Sophia will make an announcement that some people have sent us internal messages about our mastermind. Sophia will let you know. What if your managers do not wish to spend the time to get to know you? That's a great question, Christina. Sophia, ladies first. Go ahead, and then I will answer it as well. What if your manager does not wish to spend time to get to know you?
Well, I will turn it on to you, and I will ask you, what is your manager wishing? How I mean, everybody is egoist, I think, in the world. We are all egoists. So you have to think with their eyes. What will make them see you? What will make them say, I need to talk to Christina because she can help me do A or B? It's not easy. And the one thing I could tell you is, one, take the time to think how you can make them tick. And the other one is, I will give you one advice that I heard from Seth Godin, and it says, dance with fear. You have to dance with fear to make impact. And it's not easy to go and be noticed by people who maybe you think they don't see you. So you have to take the first step.
That's a great answer. And what I would say, Christina, is that I have to refer to Mahatma Gandhi, who said that first they will doubt you, then they will fight you, and at the end of the day, they will take their hat off to you and they will say, well done. So the question is, what should you do, as Sophia has said, in order to make people notice you? And I have seen from my experience with my mentees and also both on home soil and abroad training companies, the best thing you can do is deliver value. If you deliver value, only a crazy man or crazy woman or a crazy manager won't see that. And if they don't, then maybe your future should be at another company. And that's my answer to you.
Fully agree.
Desislava says, great, Sophia. Milovan, work towards win-win situation. Present the solution to the manager, not the problem. Well done. Thanks for the recap. Nick, morning managers need to share their Outlook calendar with their employees to allow the open door policy to work. Correct. That's what we were discussing, Sophia, about transparency for the offer that we're preparing for the company, Nicosia. You need to be transparent, fully transparent, and also share their calendar in order for them to see when the door is open. Good morning. Thank you for the tips. It's always a pleasure, Ioannis. Good morning, and thank you for the tips, Andonis. My pleasure. Feel free to share this episode with other people or with your managers or with your teams. Good morning, dear Michael and Sophia. Great info today. Thank you for sharing. Our pleasure, Histala. We have many, many comments coming. If you're at the next level and it is recognized from all the others, but not from your manager, if you are at the next level, it is recognized from all the others, but not from your manager. So, Sophia, again, it's a similar question to the previous one. What happens if your manager doesn't recognize all your efforts?
I think do your best and know that you cannot win them all. That's all you can
Correct.
do.
Correct. And I
And
think some of the
yeah.
tips, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
And as Michael said before, I mean, if you stay a long time in a company that doesn't recognize you, then it's time to think where else you could go.
Correct. I truly agree. And there are some times, Sophia, that we might be mistaken and think that our manager is mistaken. So what I would do, and what I suggested just a few weeks ago at the leadership seminar we were running, is go and ask your manager, what am I doing that you like very much? What can I improve? That's a T account, right? What you do that they like very much and you bring value, and what you can improve. If Sophia or anyone else who works with me comes and asks me this, it gives me much more room to discuss what they need to improve. I feel more comfortable. Make it comfortable for them to let you know. And I trust that your manager is a fair person. Hello from Malaysia. Great to have Malaysia here as well. Yoda, good morning, dear Michael and Sophia. Where is my friend Pan Fully? Coming up next. Good morning, Pan. And okay, last comment because we have to move on. What if the manager are going different things from what if the managers are doing different things from what they say? Sophia, what's your take on this one?
Yeah, it's not always easy, but I think you should not think about what the other person does, but think how you can make them notice you. It's all about you and forget about what they are doing.
Yes, and at the end of the day, maybe their career is in jeopardy if they're doing different things from what they are saying. And even if it's not at this time they will move on from this company, I have a feeling that at the end of the day, because we live in a transparent world where everything surfaces, even Volkswagen got a fine with their emissions scandal, everything surfaces at the end of the day. These will surface too. You might not be there in that company. You might feel that you are hard done by and move on. Doesn't matter. Give value, provide value, and you will have a better future than your manager further down the line. So, Sophia, anything else to discuss or anything to announce just before we call it a day?
Yeah, I saw some of you here in the audience that have applied for the mastermind, and I'm really happy to see you. I want to let you know that I will get back to you this week with an answer, and we can discuss. And for those of you who are wondering, I'm just going to show the graphic here. We are launching a mastermind for future leaders in January, where we will be teaching and we will be connecting with people with leadership potential so they can bring their career to the next level.
How many weeks is the duration, Sophia? And how many people?
The teaching period is 8 weeks. We have 15 people maximum in the group, and we have already filled half of the places.
Okay, and it's 2 hours per session, correct?
Yes. So we will have, if we want to go into details, yes, we will have a session of 2 hours every week, which will be a combined of teaching and coaching. There will be material that will be sent to you beforehand. You will be working on a project. You will be improving your career while you're learning.
Excellent.
That's the idea.
Excellent. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. And thank you for your support and your comments and your feedback. It means a lot to us. Have a great and a productive week ahead. And see you all next Monday here live once again. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.